Everyone, I am here with Wade Robertson, and I just want to start out, everybody, I really need to say this. I do want to give equal opportunity here, so I am offering publicly to have anyone from the Corey Feldman camp give a statement on anything that is said in any of these interviews. In the interest of fairness, he can offer any statement that he wishes in any form to rebut anything that anybody has to say in these interviews that are being posted. So that being said, Wade, let's start out by asking you, first of all, what's your association, or what was your association with Mr. Feldman?
Basically, I was the tour bus driver on tour with Corey and his Angels. And those dates are... I've got all the info right here, so just give me 1 second.
Sure, take your time.
Been on so many tours, man. They all run together. You know how it is.
I understand.
Come on, pull up. Basically, there we go. I'm Wade Robertson. I live in Cincinnati, Ohio. Actually, it's on the phone I'm talking on. So, yeah, I'm a bus driver. I was with Corey and his Angels on... Man, I had this already. If you give me 1 second here, man.
Sure.
Go on back.
And I also want to say, while you're looking that stuff up, that you did prepare official statements along with some other people that I think you may be able to talk about. You gave official statements, if I'm not mistaken, to the court system for the case that involved Margot Lane, by the way. So these are all documented. You are on record. You have stated all these things legally and have presented them to any office, any government, any legal capacity, or for any legal capacity.
Yes. And I was on tour with them from June 15th to August 5th. So pretty long time.
Okay. So I'm just going to jump right out because I know you're chomping at the bit at this. What exactly did you see when you started? And let's let you take it from there.
Well, basically, when I first got there and to pick everybody up, I got to meet everybody, and then his personal handler, I guess his name's Phil, brung these dogs along, and I had to call to make sure that was even something that we were supposed to do, and we brung dogs along. So. Let's fast forward a little bit. A couple days get into the tour. A lot of things that was new to me because they had a 19-year-old tour manager that didn't know nothing about the business, and which made my job even more harder than what it should have been. By that, I mean making sure that, I had to book my own hotels, making sure that I got float for the bus, and float, in case people don't know, is money that you get for gas, tolls, supplies, et cetera, for the bus. So that was becoming an apparent pain in the ass, excuse my language, every day it seemed like.
Okay. Margot gave a statement. Margot gave an interview, an hour-long interview about a lot of things that took place. And, of course, those have been called into question by Mr. Feldman's side. They range from lack of payments to people to conditions on the bus being deplorable. Mr. Adams, former bodyguard, has also stated that he believes and his opinion of Mr. Feldman is not good. manipulative and things of these nature. These are these people speaking. Now, I know you can't speak about Mr. Adams. What about Margot Lane's assessment of how the conditions were? Do you agree?
The thing here is the payment thing. I know was an issue because we were a month into this tour, and none of them had got paid. Nobody on the bus had got paid, and Mr. Feldman was always saying, "Well, I haven't even got paid," and his I guess his response to that was, it's got to go through the channels. It's got to pay the bus. It's got to, the money's got to go for here and there, and then you guys will get paid. It wasn't probably in a month, 3 of them was threatening to quit the tour because of non-payment. And then all of a sudden, they got paid for the first 2 weeks. Then I heard that they had not even got paid for a Vegas show they did before they went on this tour. The conditions on the bus were outstanding at first, and then it went to shit. You got 2 dogs and 11 people on the bus. For me, when you bring animals along on a bus, the artist usually has his own bus. But you had 11 people cramped into one bus. They would not be up in the morning to take the dog out, so it could have been say it was a 7-hour drive. These dogs are locked up in a cage in the bunk and living in their own conditions, which later, after the tour ended, a funky smell was still going on the bus, and found out that one of the mattresses was ruined, which was dog piss, dog shit, just nastiness. Food was left on the counter. Couldn't really throw the food away because, even though there's spots and it's going to waste, we can still use it. The band and, the other people on the bus that wasn't vegetarians or vegans was not allowed to bring their own food on the bus. And me personally found out about this, and, I walked on the bus eating a cheeseburger like, what's the problem? I also found out that, he made them get off the bus to eat a couple times, and the conditions outside wasn't good. It was wet, rainy. The beginning of the tour, there was no trailer because he didn't want to pay for the trailer. So they crammed everything they could underneath a bus. And if anybody out there in band world knows, there's room under a bus, but not a lot. You get to these venues, they're expecting loaders, no loaders. So Margot, the other girls from the band would unload and load their own stuff, which is just unheard of in the music business. Why was this? Because he sent them home, and he sent the helpers home to save the money.
And did you document this? Did you indicate this to anyone? Did you tell anybody else about this?
Well, basically, the way that all happens, it's like, you're talking to everybody in the band, like, where's the loaders and things? And it's like, we don't have none. So sometimes at night, the bus still wouldn't be loaded. And Margot and a few of the other girls would be trying to get the stuff loaded, and this equipment's pretty freaking heavy. Me and the security guard would do the walkarounds to make sure nothing got left. And if it wasn't for Margot, me, and the security guard, which I can't mention his name right now, a lot of shit would have probably got left. That's basically how that went. So there was a couple injuries from loading and unloading your own shit. These girls ain't that big. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the equipment's heavy. And Mr. Feldman, just didn't give a shit.
And this was across the board. Nobody was left. There wasn't a half a dozen people that were getting all their money, but a half of them weren't. This was across the board, paychecks, these things that he's claiming are not true, that people are making this up, everybody is just out to get him, or whatnot. I'm paraphrasing, but you're saying, no, this is to the best of your recollection from what you witnessed, everybody was...
They was getting ready to jump ship, dude. I mean, I know the costume girl didn't get paid at all. And I put her to work on the bus as far as like sewing up a tear on the seat, or, you know, doing things on the bus like, hey, can you just, the area where you guys sit, I ain't worried about the bunk area, I ain't worried about his area. You do this and, you know, I'll give you some money, you know, because she was all in all, like she confessed to me about not having no money to eat. He wasn't paying her, and, you know, that's when she wouldn't take the money personally. So I put her kind of like to work, like, okay, do this and that. And, you know, here's some money for food and things like that, you know. And there was no, you know, there was a shower on the bus, but it was kind of weird because the back door got broke. And if anybody knows anything about the back door air systems, it takes a lot to break these doors. And me personally, I think something got put in front of the door, it broke, and then if you're taking a shower back there in the back of the bus, there's a glass door there. They tried to hang a towel up to, you know, try to get a little privacy, but there was just always too many people on the bus. Right. So out of the kindness of my heart, you know, I get points for staying at some of these hotels, and I would give free rooms to the girls. You know, I would offer them to come up. I'd offer the security guy to come up, you know, and things like that. So I know they wasn't making money, you know, and I know they wasn't eating good. And I know that, you know, some of these places that you go to is a union house, and to tell them to leave, you know, musicians ain't supposed to touch their gear at a union house, but it happened.
And I know a lot of people have said in Margot's video, a lot of people have questioned that if all this happened to her, and I know we haven't gotten into some other things, but if all these things had happened to her, then why were you so stupid and stick around for that? You know, you sound like an idiot. You sound like you absolutely are in this for your own personal gain, that you just want to slander him, that you're lying through your teeth. What do you think prompted the girls to stick around, as Margot and the others? What prompted them to stay with this particular treatment?
I think the other ones, it was a fear of him saying, you'll never work in this town again. I know so many people, you'll be blackballed. And I know the guitar player, she's trying to get her U.S. citizenship, you know, and she had to work, you know. But I know for Margot, it was like, it was more or less, she needed to stick around to help everybody, them girls get through that. And when I was jumping ship in July, I was like, I'm fucking done with this, dude. I'm done with the situation. I'm just done. And they asked me to stay. Every one of those girls asked me to stay and said, you can't leave. And the owner of the company's wife told me, Wade, you can't leave those girls. I sucked it up and I finished the tour. And out of the years that I've been driving tour buses, I had never quit a tour in my life. And I'm glad I didn't quit that one. So for Margot to stay, I think it was a sense of duty, you know, because she was the oldest musician there, you know, and protect, you know, and get through this, and let's just get through it. And, you know, maybe it'll change, you know, maybe he'll start paying, but the more it got into it, the more dumb shit got.
Right. Yeah.
I'd hear him do an interview and then turn around and just laugh about that interview. Quote, he's so godly. You know, he's so good to women. And if people can sit there and run Margot down, oh, she's a liar and she's just not. I drove the bus. I know what the fuck happened on that bus, and I know what them girls went through. And for them to say that and not even know the situation, the people that are fans of this guy and comes out and meets him, that's just one side of the guy that you know. You don't know the real Corey Feldman. None of them people do. It's the people that actually work for him and that is coming out to say, yes, it's time for this to stop. You know, he claims to be, yes, I started this movement. Why ain't nobody behind me? Because he's insignificant. If you had information to give about a pedophile or something like that. I don't care who you are. $10 million is not the answer to give that information out. You should be man enough to come out and say, this is what happens. This is what happened. This is what's going on, and not want $10 million. Basically, it's to me, it's mind boggling to see these people give him money. It just is mind boggling because I know a different side of Corey Feldman that a lot of people don't know.
Now, Wade, as far as what you just mentioned, because Corey has mentioned before, Mr. Feldman has mentioned before, that nobody treats women as good as he does, as well as he does. What?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
His words.
Yeah.
Now, there have been people that have come out now and spoken, have contradicted these statements. What did you personally see? What did you personally witness that contradicts his statements about how good he is to females, how well he treats women?
He has to be in control of the whole situation. You know, like I was saying, we was about 3 or 4 shows into this tour, and we went to a club that I very well know. Right next door is a spa, so I hooked the girls up with a spa day, and he woke up and lost his freaking mind because they wasn't on the bus. Where are they at? We're acting like we're supposed to be a band, you know, and you know, just the verbal abuse that he give these girls is just totally amazing. And then he's like all innocent and bullshit, and you know, there's 2 sides to this guy. I've seen him rip his wife's ass, just rip her to shreds. And a normal person, it'd probably make him feel like dirt. And, you know, there was sometimes when he got very loud on the bus, and when I was on the bus, and I said, that's enough, dude. Bottom line, shut the fuck up. You know, and I just don't let shit like that happen on the bus. You got a problem, get the fuck off the bus and take care of it. You know, and, you know, his cult, his fans can say what they want. Until you're around somebody 24/7 for nearly 3 freaking months and live with these people, you find out there is a very dark, sinister side to this guy. Why is he asking for money for information that he has? All because of security. He's insignificant. He is a water bug. He is a toilet bug. He is insignificant in Hollywood, period. It's not to put a movie out. It's not. It's to line his own pockets, and that I will don't have no proof of it, but I will believe that in my hearts of hearts that it's just to line his own pocket. Because how can you justify going to Hawaii after a tour and still not pay your band and still not pay the bus company? How can you justify that? But you went to Hawaii.
Wade, did you see anything else that contradicts the lifestyle that Corey Feldman claims to live, which is...
Well, he's not a sober guy. I'm going to tell you that right now. You know, everybody has their pot they smoke and all that stuff, but there was a time where I went back to the back of the bus to check out the back bathroom because this bus had particularly 2 bathrooms, and the one toilet got broke because they like I think his wife or his girlfriend put a woman's let's just say monthly thing in the toilet, and it just fucked it up. And going back to the back to, you know, fix a switch because he said his electric was off and it was just a matter of flipping a switch and, you know, it was on. You know, you see a Ziploc full bag of pills with no prescription bottles. That was one of the big things I brought up to the owner of the company. This shit can't be on the bus. It's my license involved. It's everybody's shit involved. So you need to get a hold of whoever you need to get a hold of and get this shit off the bus. And I didn't see it no more after that, so I don't know if he hid it or put it under the bus. But I know it was it wasn't just medication you took out on the road, because if it was, it'd be in pill bottle form, not a Ziploc bag and all different kinds of medicine, you know.
And Wade, you just mentioned that you mentioned a few times that there were some other people involved in the things that you saw and you contacted. Now, those people, if I'm not mistaken, have also given official statements to the court system or to the court or to attorneys or to a mediator, correct? They went on record. They have officially corroborated what you're saying.
Right. And there was a situation on the bus that I can't talk about right now, but the LAPD knows. They took my statement, and you know, it is. I hope it's a can of worms that just busts wide open, and the events that is going to follow this guy is just, you know, he is a real piece of work. You know, he is a manipulator, womanizer. He thinks that his shit doesn't stink.
Okay. And I guess, you know, because the holes are trying to be poked in the story. Margot Lane is a liar. The other angels are liars. The ex-bodyguard is a liar. Holly Fields is a liar.
I'm going to be a liar after this.
You most certainly will be called a liar as well. I believe
this interview is probably going to come out left field, and the bus owner interview is probably going to come out left field. And the thing about it is I'm not doing this for money. I'm not doing this for recognition. You know, I've been out there for quite a while. I've toured with the best of the best and the worst of the worst. I've toured with Manson. I've toured with Corrosion and Conformity. I mean, I'm pretty well on social media. You can go and look at my background. And I'm telling you what, there's a saying in the bus industry, kind of like Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. The bus industry is the same way. And I don't give a shit if I'm breaking the golden rule about opening my mouth about what happens on a tour bus stays on a tour bus. This guy is a piece of work that needs to be held accountable for non-paying his band. The girls that have came out, I back them 100% because I've seen it firsthand. Margot worked her ass off, hurt herself, performed every night, loaded the bus back up, along with a couple of the other angels, did the same thing. I've seen it firsthand. So bring the pain towards me. You know, these girls have been put through enough.
Wait, I want to bring something up that has actually happened today, by the way. So I want to clarify something because there seems to be a grand conspiracy that's raging through the internet. Seems to be one particular person that's claiming there is an organization that is paying people, crisis actors, individuals, high-power people that are trying to keep pedophilia quiet. And I believe the report today was alleged that he was stabbed. Corey Feldman was attacked.
Uh-huh. I've seen that report. And then I've seen a LA Times release report about it's not happening the way he said it happened.
I
think
wasn't.
It's bullshit. I think it's something that he's staging himself. If you're in a hospital and you get stabbed, the first thing they're going to do is put an IV in you. There's no IV. He's wearing his ball cap. He's got a little smirk on his face, and he's holding his electric pen that he smokes. It looked more like a veterinarian clinic than anything else. So if people are this blinded and want to send him money, then waste your time and waste your money. But I'm promising you that before the end of this year, the truth is going to come out about Mr. Feldman, and then people are going to be like, "What?" And it's going to happen because the walls. We're not going to stop this. You know, he needs to be held accountable. He needs to be stopped, and it just needs to happen. No more angels need to go audition for this guy. This guy is a bad dude. He is the problem in California.
Yeah, there seems to be there seems to be the comments that there's some screenshots and some social media activity that claim that he is I'm going to paraphrase, wanting to expose this group of people that are doing this to him, that are behind all these things, paying people to lie, paying crisis actors. I'm not entirely sure that I'm not one of those paid crisis actors, but anybody can check my bank and check any of the other the others accused of paying anyone. I don't believe any money has transpired. You haven't been approached with any lump sums of money to attack him or go after him or write a tell-all book about it. Has any of that happened to you, Wade?
No, but it's just amazing that they would even say that, because I think if you look at what I'm all about and what I have, accomplished in my life as far as, being a driver or whatever, everybody's going to say, well, he's just a dumb driver. I have been with the best, and I have not been offered money. I have not been offered a book deal. I have not been offered a movie deal. I am doing this because this guy is the problem in Hollywood. This guy is part of that problem. For somebody to hold back supposedly information on this big pedophilia ring and not come out with it is bullshit. Go to the witness protection program. Live as a martyr for the rest of your life. There's more to this stuff than meets the eye. He is a manipulating, cunning person.
And there has been a professional security person. I'm going to botch this up completely, but you can go and I believe he still has his YouTube or video plea up there, or his offering to Mr. Feldman that he or his agency or whatever would offer him protection in exchange for helping. And I know that there have been some other legal organizations that have come out as well. I can't verify that right off the top of my head, but have also offered him assistance. So basically he has been offered legal help. He's been offered physical help to do this. And from what I understand, that security person is no joke. I believe it's an ex-Navy SEAL from Texas, if I'm not mistaken. Big time man. Big time individual that has publicly come out on video saying, I'll help you. We'll help you. Just say the names, and we've got your back. But somehow it still hasn't come out yet. I'm waiting for it. If anybody out there actually has the information that he has disclosed after that and taken anybody up on these offers, please send it in the offer. In the interest of fairness, we'll put it up. If he's taken anybody up on these offers, please let us know.
Well, like an interview that he had, because he wasn't invited to the Golden Globes. I started this movement. Why ain't I invited? You're insignificant. You are the problem. He is the problem. And I think he's so insignificant right now, because you're only good as your word in life. And that's what I've always been taught. If I had some kind of information like that, I would spew it out. Because while he waits, other people are getting abused. Am I not right or wrong?
That's the worst part of this, because every day that there is the accusation of stabbings, every day there is the yelling about this and the complaining about this and the social media attacks back and forth. Every day there's a kid who is in somebody's car or in someone's closet or being raped in a back room or something like that is not being helped. Every day that this goes on. And my name is so insignificant. And no offense, Wade, your name is so insignificant. Unfortunately,
Absolutely.
the only person in this entire group that has a name powerful enough to make some sort of difference is Corey Feldman.
Exactly. And you know what? I can sit here and say, Okay, I got video of Corey Feldman acting stupid. I'm gonna start a GoFundMe. Somebody send me $1,000, and then you can piece that video together and say, here he is acting stupid. It's almost the asinine same thing. He's saying that, oh, I've got proof of this big cult that's going on in California. Then bring it out, brother. You'll be the biggest thing since Donald Trump.
Yeah. And again, Samantha, publicist for Corey, if you want to submit any rebuttals to any interviews, any information, any evidence that I procure and send out, please, I will offer to put it out there unedited, unaltered, unabridged. I will post anything that you have to say against anything that anybody has to say here in the interest of fairness.
Exactly.
Wade, that being said, is there any additional information that you'd like to conclude with about some disturbing things that may contradict what Corey Feldman has said over the course of time during the tour? Anything else that you've seen that you know for a fact from your recollection, from your personal experience, that contradicts anything?
Well, like one thing that I did tell you that I would love to tell you about, I cannot because LAPD told me not to talk about it.
Understood.
But that's going to get resolved soon because I think people need to know that what went on that bus to a couple individuals. One day they were fine, the next day they were kind of like not fine. So there was some shady shit going on that bus, and I wish. Oh man, I wish that things were different, and I'm glad it happened the way it did because had we went away and came back and something would have happened, I would have felt really bad if something happened to the girls. Everybody that has came out with their story, whether it been Margot, Little Bit, Thumper, whoever, they're 100% credible. I'm telling you because I was with this guy on the road and I seen it on the bus. And, people can take that however they want. I'm going to be the bad guy. Oh, he's just trying to, blah, blah, blah. I can already hear it, but I have nothing to gain on this. If I can prevent somebody from auditioning with this guy and getting hurt on the road, then that's by God, that's my job.
Wade, I really appreciate it, and I think I can speak for everybody else that's following the events that's unfolding with everything, everything from really over the last 8 years, from what I understand, of what Mr. Feldman is doing, what he is saying in regards to Corey Haim, and then of course these situations and these things that have occurred with his ex-band members and things like that. It's just, I think we can all say thanks again for coming out, because as you said, you're going to be called a liar. The comment section is going to light up with some people that say, you're out for him. Have some compassion. Why are you doing this? Are you getting paid? This is ridiculous. He's a great, all of us that just try to bring some facts out, try to bring some common sense things out, try to get people to think critically, are going to be bashed. And it's terrible. And again, to see the headlines today with just outlandish allegations of conspiracies to he from what I understand, from what I read, there were security members in the vehicle that somehow used the Jedi mind trick on them to allegedly stab him, and from what I understand, the LAPD has said no, that's not what happened. Not what happened, but he came out and said that he had a scratch or something like that on his tummy. And it started out with a stabbing and just flailing, and then just, no, not so much. So it's just, It's absolutely ludicrous. But Wade, if there's anything else in the future you want to follow up with, anything, you have some more things to say, any other events, if that thing unfolds that you were talking about that you can't disclose, if that unfolds and you want to speak about it, you've got my name, you got my number, Facebook, everything. Just get back in touch with me. I'll put it out there. And again, Corey, you will be allowed on this channel to refute it, say whatever you want about it. We'll critique it. We will debate it. We will analyze what you have to say, but you will be allowed to say it in the interest of fairness.
Let's do this live. He's got my phone number. Call me up, Corey. I'll put you on three-way. But I am going to say one thing. Karma is a mother, and Karma is about ready to take him down, I do believe.
Wade, we really appreciate that. And folks, there's going to be hopefully another interview coming out. I know that there have been some major audio problems with the Dre interview, the former bodyguard, and he has gotten in touch with me and stated that he will redo that interview. So anybody that couldn't hear it, anybody that was frustrated with the audio on that, I believe in my heart now, after the communication, that will be redone so that everybody can hear. And I believe he said that he has some more information. He is getting more and more steamed up. And some things that he didn't even feel fair to say, I believe he wants to say more. So again, Wade, thank you so much. And folks,
absolutely,
like, subscribe, all that good stuff
about this guy. And only way that he's going to be put in his place is if people just get together and make it happen, because this guy's a predator. Bottom line.
Thanks, Wade.